the next lesson of how to play Xiangqi, that's Chinese chess. With this lesson, we'll be taking a look at the power of the pawns, just in a theoretical sense, and then concluding it with a composed ending that Mr. Ching's book calls Old Pawn Searching Mountain Attack. Kind of a cumbersome name, but it's from the ancient manual called Strategic Considerations. And it's a composed ending which illustrates how one might use an old pawn to get a checkmate. Old pawn is one that's at its final rank, the 10th rank. As we recall, pawns can move forward, right, until they cross the river. And then after it crosses the river, it can go sideways, like that. And continues forward, but then when it finally gets to the last rank, it cannot go backwards, and it can no longer go forward, and it can only go sideways. So it loses some power as it advances. Take, for instance, this center pawn we're looking at right here. Right now, this pawn has the potential of covering a total of 46 squares. These 45 on the other side of the river, and the one right in front of it. That's 46, 45 plus 1. Now each time a pawn moves, it loses some potential value. Okay, so right now, he's moved 1. Now instead of 46, now he has 45 total possible places he could go. He moves forward 1 more. And now he can move sideways, so he can, from this point, he could potentially go to every one of these squares. So he still has 45 possible moves. But watch, and this is still true as if he moves here, there's still 45 possible squares he could go to. But watch, when he moves forward 1, that 45 drops to 36. There's 9 points across and 4 deep, right? Now he goes from here, from 36, now he's down to 27. Now when he moves 1 more, he drops from 27 possible squares, only to, or points, down to 18. Okay, the king moves. When he finally gets here to be an old pawn, he goes from 18 to 9. And this is sort of a geometric series that diminishes. So it illustrates how weighty it is to move a pawn to the last rank, because then when it finally gets there, it only has 9 possible points that it could cover, and there's no chance of promotion and no chance of getting any more powerful. That's why they'll call it an old pawn. The weakest pawn on the board is one that's advanced to the 10th rank, the last rank. That being said, there are occasional times, especially in compositions and certain checkmates, where the old pawn at the end can play a role in that checkmate. And we're going to demonstrate one of those with the next position. So we'll pause now to set that up. So here we have a position that's from the ancient manual called Strategic Considerations. It's a composed ending, not from a real game. So it has a little bit of an artificial feel, but still it's very illustrative of the principles of how to use an old pawn. First, let's look at all the pieces. Red has a horse here that is blocking his corresponding black horse from moving. And there's the advanced pawn is here, and this will become the old pawn, which will assist in the checkmate. In fact, this old pawn, where it's heading, is going to go here, 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 take this, and then come back and assist in the checkmate. And of course, the red has king. The black again has his king is right there. It's kind of smoked out, probably being checked with this horse. There's 2 advisors, an elephant here, which cannot move because of the unfortunate place of his own king and the blocking place of this horse. And then that's all the pieces that are there. This is the first move from the text. Not too much of a surprise. Now if we look, all the pieces are immobilized except one. The horse cannot move, the elephant cannot move, king cannot move, this advisor cannot move. This is the only advisor which can move. And we'll see that wherever he goes, the combinations come out about the same. The text has him coming here. And now here, Red is going to take advantage of this open central file, and now the king moves here, and it's going to control this entire file. Now observe, if he went here, for instance, first, then this king could probably come here and maybe get away from it and get out of the danger zone. So the king comes here to keep the black king in place. Black comes here. Now the pawn would like to come here, but it would be taken off. So what red does is kind of a fancy waiting move. He just goes here and throws the onus on black to move. And of course he's just kind of shuffling back and forth. And finally this pawn does get to the back rank as it becomes an old pawn. Of course now he can only go sideways. So black is still just shuffling his advisors back and forth, and I think it works out about the same whichever one he moves. This goes there, pawn moves here. This has to shuffle back, and now this comes here. And he's going to go over and take this, nothing to prevent him. Now it's kind of curious, when I first looked at this, I said, well, isn't this checkmate? It kind of looks like it. The king cannot go there and cannot go there, right? But that allows this move, which actually stops the mate and lets black off the hook. So he does have to go there to maintain his advantage. So black just again is shuffling his pieces back and forth, and the marauding pawn just goes over here and takes this. This goes there, and now the final piece is dropped. This comes here. This comes back. This comes here. And now this move drops in, and this is actually checkmate. The king cannot go back because of the pawn. Can't go here because of the king. No longer has any sort of a blocking move. Now there are some other variations that's possible that would lead the game into a different direction and lead to an endgame that would be winning also. But for the purpose of the demonstration, this is where this example ends. So I hope you enjoyed that and found it instructive. With the next lesson, we'll be turning our attention to another old pawn technique from a real game from the 1977 Chinese National Individuals Championships. So join us then.